Okie doke. I'm back. I'm here. How y'all doing? Let's see here. Hey, Neil. How you doing, buddy? I think that's you. Somebody's online. How y'all doing? Got a lot to talk about. A little bit of that. A little bit, a lot. A little bit. I don't know. Something. We're going to talk about stuff. Hi, doggies. Alright, grab my stuff. I'm kind of waiting for other people to jump on before we get started. Sorry about that. Oh, we got 2 people now. Awesome. Oh, Neil, how you doing, buddy? Sorry about that. Oh, crap. Oh, we got 2 people. Oh, no. Turn that off. There we go. Okay. Crazy. All right, so let's get busy. Let's talk about Nissan, because the title I made has to do with Japan. Let me turn this thing off. How do you get that? Ba, ba, ba. There we go. All right. So if you can see here at the plan, this is what's going on. Nissan's cutting their throats in Japan is what I meant to say, but I wanted to get more people to join. So America, Nissan's hurting really bad. They could be bankrupt in the next year or 2 if things keep going the way it's going. But that's just because they're gasoline cars. Has nothing to do with their EV cars. It has to do with the gasoline cars. They're just not selling well. And I don't know about Europe. I'm not sure about Nissan Europe. But Japan, they just did a move that has upset every Leaf owner over here and could possibly affect future purchases. And what it is what you're looking at here is their plan, their charging plan. I've always told you over here we have a really excellent infrastructure, and we pay about, well, originally I paid $30-some a month, and what that did is that covered what did it do? It covered operator service, it covered the charging network, and the money went towards something else. I think it had to do with shocking or something, like government inspection for that amount of money. Now I'm paying because I don't get any service after the first shocking. You're on your own after that. So it actually lowered the price of the card. I'm paying $20 a month now for the charge card to use what they call Sky Tai Hodai. It means I can use as much as I want for $20 a month. It's a flat rate. I pay a flat rate $20 a month, and I can use as many times as I need. Well, they've done away with that, looks like. They are getting rid of that program. And what they did is they came out with a new little updated car. Slightly updated car. Let me show you the car. Let's see. Boom. Slightly updated version of the 60 and 40 kilowatt hour, 62 and 40 kilowatt hour Leafs. And it's a little bit more affordable. It's called what's it called? Not Bluetooth, Altec, which means Blue Tech, I guess. It's called the Altec version. It's in the X. It's the X version, and if you can see on the bottom for the 62 kilowatt hour, you're looking at $44,000. Let's see, how's it go? $44,119, I think. My eyes. No, sorry, $44,110. Okay, and then if you go down below to the G package, that's $49,984, and roughly, I'm just doing a straight 100 yen to $1, conversion, which is not quite there. Anyways, so the Altec gives you a little bit different styling wheels. Seats are different. The LEDs are different in the front and back. Just a little bit different styling. I'm not sure if that's going to come with ProPilot included. I bet you ProPilot's still an option, so it could still jack the price up if you get ProPilot for it. So that's what they're doing. So with this new release of this slightly updated car, all the Leafs, not just the Altec, but all the S package, X package, and G packages, If you get Pro Pilot, it comes with a little bit tweaked Pro Pilot. It's not Pro Pilot 2.0, but it's a little bit smoother. They say it's a little bit better than the previous Pro Pilot. Things like that. Just a small update. And with that update came this new pricing chart for your charging. And so anybody that buys a new Leaf from now on is looking at paying quite a bit. As you can see, if you want to pay the cheapest rate, the cheapest rate is $5 a month. Let's see if I can find that. So on the far right, it's called Simple Plan. That's what that katakana means. That's Japanese character in the top gray box on the right-hand side. It says Shimperu, and that's a simple plan. And what that means is you don't get any charges involved in that. You just pay $5 a month, and it allows you to use their chargers for $5 every 10 minutes. So it's a little pricey to use a charger if you just use a simple plan. And then I don't know how that works, but they're charging 1.5 yen a minute as well on top of that. That's crazy. I don't even know what I can't read that kanji exactly. I'm not sure what they're saying. That's actually a little confusing. So they're going to charge, you pay $5 every 10 minutes, but you also have to pay another 1.5 yen a minute on top of that. Wonderful. It's got to be some kind of tax or something they're charging on top of that. So that's the simple plan, but the cheapest plan on the what they call the premium package is Premium 10, and it allows you to get within they're saying up to 800 kilometers in a month. So you get 10 charges. They allow you 10 charges for $40 a month. If you go over the 10 charges, then they start charging you 350 yen per 10 minutes. However, they're saying for the first 3 years, you only have to pay $25 a month. After that, it goes to $4. That's if you do a plan. Oh, that's what I forgot. They offer a program like a K-Type, like a cell phone plan. If you do a 3-year contract, they'll lower the price for the first 3 years, and then after that, it's going to go back up. So it's up to you if you want to do a 3-year contract or not with this card. Then what they recommend, osusume, is if you see in the top, right in the middle column, where you see the 20, right above that, there's the red letters. That's osusume. That means recommended, and that's Premium 20. And that's up to 1,600 kilometers in 1 month. You get 20 whole charges. Woo, 200 minutes worth. And that's for $60 a month without doing a 3-year contract. If you do a 3-year contract, you only pay $45 a month. And if you go over 20 charges, it's 300 yen per 10 minutes. And and you guys can get it. And you go to 40, you get 40 charges in 1 month for $100 a month, which is $85 a month actually. That's getting ridiculous. Already in the middle column, right there, if you don't do the 3-year contract at $45 a month, you're close to most what they call those KG doshas for 1 month of fuel cost. So that's my point. We have these K cars that get incredibly good gas mileage. And sorry, we have these K cars that get incredibly good gas mileage, and you can go quite a few kilometers on $40 worth of gas over here. Let's say you don't do the contract, you're just paying $60. Then you can definitely, no problem, $60. I never go over $60 on my K car, and that's with a lot of use. So you can see how it's got people that bought the Leafs. Got them upset, especially the first gen people like me. Luckily for me, I bought my used Leaf not quite a year ago, but back in April or March, and the card I got with it that I converted, I had to change my card from the EMV to that. I was still under the same program, so I got 5 years. I've got 4 years, a little over 4 years left of what they call Skytai Hodai. So I'm in good shape. Anybody that bought a car before December 16th, yeah, it was December 16th. Anybody that bought a car before December 16th, they're in good shape. They got 5 years to go before they have to do this stupid program. Anybody buys a car now, they're screwed. And that's another reason why people are pissed off. It's like, hey, whoa, wait a minute, what? So, it's because it's night and day. people buy it before 2016, they get 5 years of $20 a month roughly. All you can use. You don't have a limit. Anybody after 2006 or December 16th, anybody after December 16th, they are paying through the nose for charging when it comes to chargers over here. And anybody the first gen Leaf, especially in the wintertime, you could be doing 3-4 charges a day. With work, I end up doing that. I charge up at night in my house till 100%. But with the heater and all that other stuff, defrosters going, and if it's raining and all that stuff, all the stuff we do with the kids, and then we still use the car for personal uses, I can get 2 to 3 charges a day on that in the wintertime. Anybody with worse, with the more battery degradation than I have, they're even worse shape. So these new programs they got going over here isn't good. Also keep in mind, there's a lot of people that use Leaf to Home. We're not allowed to store electricity at our house. So we can do solar panels, but the solar panels are hooked to the grid. So it's really not fair. So we pay a lot of money for the solar panels put on our roof. And then TEPCO takes the electricity from us, and they'll give us like a quarter of what they charge us for the same electricity. So they take it from us in the daytime. And then at night, when we're not producing electricity, then they sell it to us. We have to buy the electricity at a much higher rate than what we sold it to them for, because we're not allowed to store electricity in batteries over here. So the next best thing was Leaf to Home. What a lot of people do, especially the older people that have some money and also retired, they would do Leaf to Home. And what they do is they go out to the dealership, charge on a quick charger up to 80%, maybe 100%, depending on the degradation of the battery. Head home and then plug in and use the car the whole day at the house because daytime rates are much higher than nighttime rates. Then at night they would have to pay the rates, but it was a lot cheaper than putting solar panels up and all that stuff. And also just it's kind of cool that you have if there's ever a disaster or something, you do have some way to store electricity into your car if you do have solar panels, or store electricity. It's the only way you can store electricity over here is storing it in your car through Leaf to Home. So you can imagine the people that currently own the Leafs, first gens and also the second gens, they're fuming. And also people that are thought about buying a car, now they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And that's making the Tesla Model 3, which just came out over here, look a little bit more appealing. Like I said, the 62 kilowatt E-Plus Leaf and the Model 3, if you buy the rear-wheel drive, just the standard rear-wheel drive Model 3, they're about the same price. They're really close. And if they offer the same program over here as they offer anywhere else, if you can get somebody else to buy a car using your number you get when you order a car, they'll get 1,500 miles or kilometers over here, 1,500 kilometers worth of free charging, so will you. So that's the way to go, it looks like, for a lot of people. So a lot of people are talking about that on the forums and stuff. So yeah, that's, you got all the stuff going on with Nissan in Europe and in America with the way they sold their battery. They were making their own batteries and they sold it to some Chinese company. Chinese company just jacked up the cost of the battery packs. So now it's ridiculously expensive to replace the battery pack on the first gen Leaf if you want to replace it. And over here you got something similar with Nissan, just kind of like, really, that's a low blow. There was no warning. There was no, hey, we're thinking about doing something like that. It's just like, boom. And they were kind of sneaky. If it wasn't for one of our news services over here, my wife would never know. And the reason why it showed up in the news is because the Leaf owners are flipping out. They're flipping out. They're like, oh my gosh. Because there's a lot of people, the first gens, their membership's about to expire. They're going to have to renew the membership on that card. They're only good for 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. I think it's 5. And then you have to renew the card. And they're going to be screwed. That's another thing. It's like, we got 5 years. Now you only do 3 years, like a K-Tie contract, like a cell phone contract. You only get 3 years, and then you have to renew. So, and then if you want to, see, that's another thing. We could cancel our card at any time. No penalty, of course. Now you do a 3-year contract and you cancel the card for some reason, like you sell a card you don't need anymore. They're going to charge you a $200 fine for canceling the card sooner. Something like that. $100, $200. So we were spoiled, and now we lost it. Now we're gonna be like all the other guys out there. So that's what's going on. Nissan really did cut their throats financially over here because the Leaf was starting to make some strides. As a matter of fact, my dealer who was always a rogue purchaser. They call it the X Trail over here. He always bought an X Trail. He was an outdoorsy kind of guy. He wasn't big on electric cars. He bought his Leaf back in August. He got a Leaf. I was kind of shocked. I see him for a long time. I show up to the dealership to charge, and he comes out and says, "Hey, I bought a Leaf." I was like, "No way! You don't like electric cars. You don't know anything about them." Because he's my dealer, and I knew more about him than he ever did, even when my first time going. And so he bought one. He's lucky. He got it back in August, so he's got 5 years to go. But I have a feeling even he's a little upset because he's talking about the reason why he got it is because of the lower cost for fuel and stuff. But now it's the running cost as far as fuel goes, like electric fuel versus gasoline fuel. If you have a K car, they're about the same. So that part's the same. You still don't have oil change, that's true, and things like that. You got that going for you, but your savings has gone. It's crashed quite a bit. Let me tell you, the K cars are also very popular right now over here. The percentage of K cars has really skyrocketed ever since that last earthquake we had back in 2011. So there's a ton of K cars out there. Every house has a K car. If they do have one big car, they also have a K car. K cars are very popular. They're making roomier and better. And like I said with mine's incredible. So that's gonna. It's like shooting themselves in the foot. It'd be like if Apple came out with a new iPad that did everything the new notebook did, but it cost like the same. It's like you're kind of eating into each other's sales. It was like people are like, oh geez, do I want the portable or do I want the a little bit more. I could do professional apps on. It would just be you're kind of like you're putting a customer in a weird situation. Do I go for the really super cheap gasoline car that but that have to do oil changes, so it's very cheap at the beginning, but with oil changes eventually if you hold on to it for a very long time, it would eventually go up, I suppose, in running costs. Or do I get the more expensive electric car but I don't have to do oil changes because the fuel running cost is about the same. So it's a tough one. I don't know. I feel like they're hurting themselves because the Japanese out there are really upset about this. I gotta take my hat off. It's getting hot already. It's a nice sunny day today. It's cold outside, but man, it's hot in this house. Aaron says, "Oops, I gotta take these off." Hey, I just joined. Is this charging membership at Nissan dealer over there? Right. It's for only in Japan, and it's really messed up. I'm lucky. I still got 4 years left, a little over 4 years on my card before it expires. And my wife, I think that was the straw broke the camel's back with my wife. She was pretty loyal to Nissan, especially Leaf and stuff. We love that car, the first gen Leaf for sure. But she's now, if we could find a used, like in a couple years, a used 3, she's open to that. I was like, I want the truck. And she's like, well, I can't drive the truck. I would like a 3. And she fell in love with the car in the test drive. And she didn't even have to drive it. She sat in the back. She was too nervous to drive the car. It was nighttime. It was Tokyo. She wasn't really keen on driving a car. Because they made a sign of paper saying, first of all, we had a sign of paper saying we weren't going to use ProPilot. We had a sign of paper saying we weren't going to film anything. And we also had a sign of paper saying if the car was in an accident, we take responsibility. We're going to we'll pay for all the damage on the car. But we don't get the car. We just get to pay for the damage on the car. And we have to sign these stupid forms before we could take a test drive. I mean, that's something I'm going to go into later about the autopilot. We weren't even allowed to test the autopilot. They didn't want us doing that. That's interesting. I'll talk about that more later though. But she still liked the car a lot. She loves the looks. She likes the charger network is finally building up, and she likes the fact that when we do it's kind of the same thing as like I told you, the Leaf has on the first gen Leaf had that blue button on the steering wheel. On us, I don't know about you guys, but over here it's on the left-hand side, a little blue button. And you push that and it gives you a little circle or circumference of your range. Well, we have an app that does that for the Teslas at charge. And you just put in roughly how many kilometers you'll get per charge. And then you put in what kind of charge you're going to put into the car. And it'll tell you what your range is. It's going to guesstimate, but it's going to guesstimate your range for that area. And it's, with the threes, with those big battery packs they have, very impressive. They're a little bit more efficient than, well, at least the rear wheel drive one is more efficient than the E Plus, or what's it called, E Plus Leaf. And obviously the battery is definitely, so far it looks like the battery on the 3 looks like it's more robust than what the Leaf has. So that plus the price being similar, she loves that 15-inch display. She loves some of those features. She's going to miss not having a TV tuner in it. Our car has a TV. You can watch TV while you're driving. She's going to miss not having that, but, and also she's not, we talked to the guys, because Japan has different rules than America has on driving with a video going. The dealerships can't offer it, but you can do third parties. Totally legal to have a third party switch put in where you can access the video screen while you're driving, so passengers can watch while you're driving. Totally legal. And because it's a software thing, because it's a Tesla, there's no kits available. There's nothing to do we can do to watch Netflix or stuff while we're driving. So that's a bummer. So we can't do that. But other than that, the car is really nice and the price is about the same. And we're thinking probably can find a used one in a couple of years. They're starting to pop up. They just started coming out in September over here, and I've already seen a couple. They're starting to pop up. I think they're going to be way more popular, so it should lower the resale value should be pretty good. You buy it new, we don't get much money anymore. Like you guys still get, I think, $7,500. Well, maybe not. Teslas don't. No, maybe not. You don't get that with Tesla anymore with America either. We don't get anything either over here. It's not because of a certain amount of cars were sold. It's because Japanese government just lost interest in it really quickly. You don't get any tax deductions. You don't get any special parking. You don't get any special road tax deductions. Nothing with electric cars over here. The government's totally just like that, which doesn't really bother me anyway with that stuff. I buy the car because I'm trying to save money with just running costs and stuff. Would have been nice to get a little extra, like the tolls being cheaper and stuff. They make the tolls cheaper for the K cars, but the electric cars don't get a cheaper toll. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. So yeah, anyways, she's thinking now with this, especially this is the straw that broke the camel's back. She's like, I don't want to renew the card. When the card is expired, I don't want to do it. So she's like, none of those plans are really that good of a deal. Because we're so spoiled right now. She says, besides, we do have, there's other things we can do. There's malls nearby. We can charge there for free still and stuff like that. Yeah, slow charger. Yeah, you use the malls, if you use their rapid chargers or quick chargers, whatever you call them, they're still, you have to pay. Even with our card we have, the malls are exempt from that flat rate. So we have to pay on those too. But most places are $5 a charge, like 30 minutes for $5 if you pay through a private company. It's still a better deal than what Nissan charges. Go figure. Let me see. Let's get back to this. Okay. I have 4 different charging networks memberships, but monthly fee is optional. Okay, cool. So, like I said, they're mimicking what you guys are doing in Europe and America. They're gonna be mimicking that. And I was afraid that was going to happen. When Nissan first came out with the Leaf, Japan and America, there was no charging networks anywhere really. We're talking 2010, 2011. Except for the superchargers, right? And even there weren't very many superchargers out there. And so it was kind of new territory, and Nissan was trying to do a good deal for everybody and to make the cars more appealing. And so that's why they did what they did. But because all these third parties popped up in the other countries, we don't have third parties over here because you basically have to be Nissan to get away with this stuff. You have to have your dealerships. You have to have your own private property to put these things on over here. That's why Tesla's having such a hard time setting up a supercharger network. It's just very different way they do things over here. So third party is not an option. There's not a lot of third party companies over here. There's like I said, malls have their own chargers and they charge their own rates for that, as well as certain like DIY stores and stuff. But government buildings, all their charges are free automatically anyways, and the highways have chargers now, but that's through our card. But that's it. We don't have third party. With third parties popping up in Europe and America, and Europeans are just like, especially the UK people, they have 3 or 4 cards for different charging networks, and they all have different rates and they all have different plans and stuff. Nissan saw a golden opportunity, and so did I'd have to, Tesla's no different. Tesla, when they first came out with the S, they also offered for I think it was $1,000. You paid $1,000 when you bought your car. You got unlimited charging, lifetime charging. That's gone. They got rid of that. There is definitely money to be made in the charging as well. So they're going to pick up on both ends. Especially Nissan over here, it's kind of monopoly in a way. They get to keep, that's their own private network, so the money goes right to them. So they're getting it both ends. So you pay up front per month, and then on top of that, you're paying most likely a little bit on the side for extra charging and stuff. We're going to get both sides, so it is what it is. Let's see. Japan is environmental disaster. Look at nuclear plants. They're leaking since the tsunami. Since the tsunami. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's one power plant in Fukushima is leaking radioactive material into the water. They're trying to contain it, but it keeps leaking into the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, know all about that. But they've shut down all nuclear facilities except for one left. Now they've switched over to coal. They're trying to use, they have solar farms all over the place, and they have some wind farms, but the majority of the power is still from coal. These sunglasses are shot. Lens keeps popping out. Anyways, so the funny thing is, I guess it's funny, but it's also irritating at the same time. About 2 years before we had that major tsunami, that major earthquake, some group from France, some atomic energy group, they came and inspected the power plants, and Fukushima got a F rating because of they had like spent nuclear fuel rods all over laying around. They had their backup generators at sea level, same level as the plant, and they're like, "What the hell, dude? Are you stupid? You put it up, elevate the thing, go up the mountain, put the power, the backup power up higher, And they had all these rules, and Fukushima was like, we'll just whatever, And keep in mind that this is still a part of TEPCO. Fukushima is TEPCO, and TEPCO was part of the government. The government tried to play this game like we didn't know anything about it. We're not involved in things. No, they were already involved way back then. It was government controlled. Obviously, it's nuclear. It was very much government. Supervised, and they just dropped the ball because it was a lot cheaper not to do it. It's like what I've talked about with the batteries. Everybody says how great electric cars are for the environment, and they can be, but when you live in a country like this, most likely they're not going to be, because I don't know how many times people have been busted cutting corners to make, to better, fatten their profit line, where these recyclers they take nuclear waste, and they're supposed to dispose of it correctly, and they get busted dumping it in just a pit I'm literally just dumping it in a pit somewhere. They get caught dumping like hazardous waste in pits where it could easily run into our water table. They do it all the time, just to for the bottom line, And so it makes me nervous about lithium-ion batteries in the future. We have these companies supposed to recycle them. Another thing you have to do is they have to bid, right? They're always outbidding each other to get the contract with these manufacturers to get these used battery packs, or from the wrecking yards and stuff. And so what they do is they underbid each other, right? So then they find out when they get the contract, it's like, oh crap, I bid too low. I'm not even going to break even if I try to recycle this thing. It's a waste of, I'm losing money. So then they dump the batteries. They dump them in a pit or something like that. And then they start leaking, 10, 15 years from now when they finally start degrading enough. They start leaking into the water table. So it could be in a country like this, it's something I really have to worry about. Maybe not so much in other countries. Honestly, I don't know though. I don't trust any of them so much. Because greed is greed, and greed is the same all around the world. And corporations are greedy. They just are. That's just, that's why I'm not a big fan of, I'm not a communist, but also uncontrolled capitalism is ridiculous because corporations are greedy. And if you don't keep them in check, things are going to get nasty real quick. We see that happening already with just even the tech industry. There's no supervision, and they're just out of control. So yeah, I don't want to rant too much. I'm kind of tired anyway, so you can probably tell my energy level's a little low today. Sorry about that, guys. But over here is something to be worried about, cutting corners and stuff. But Fukushima, they learned their lesson afterwards. Day late, dollar short, right? And so now they don't have any other nuclear facilities working except for one in a it's kind of a safe area where it's not so many earthquakes around. So they got one going somewhere far south, I think. So yeah, it is what it is. I am so tired today. Sorry about it, guys. Neil says, James, here in Oklahoma, fast chargers are popping up all over. It's quite amazing for an oil state. In fact, it's way ahead of other states in the Midwest. I can now take my leave anywhere in the state. Good. Corps are greedy. Yes. Are you surprised? I don't think so, Jim. I don't think so, old slow Jim. I guarantee you're not surprised. Corps are greedy. Corps are dead. That's why they're dead. Corpse, right? But there's that's something I go into. Someday I might go into that. It has nothing to do with electric cars, but the whole situation with corporations, the whole thing about corporations, they are going to be a downfall of any country, capitalistic or anything, because they are the ones. Oh gosh, these glasses are so broken. They are the ones that really mess things up with. They're just messing America up really bad. The corporations. They have almost unlimited power. Nobody's keeping in check. As a matter of fact, they kind of control the government because it's a long story, and it has to go back. It goes back quite a ways ago when corporations were still they were just trying to get started with corps and stuff. And it's quite an interesting story I was studying it a little bit. It was a long time ago, and I don't remember most of it, but I should restudy it. It was really fascinating. But that's why they have a corpse, and if they're considered the way they got this power stuff. It has to do with what they wanted. They wanted the power of I can't remember. See, it's too long ago, but that's why the word has corpse in it. They had to be considered like a human or whatever, a thing, and a human thing, and even if it was dead, and it gave them access to things that they wouldn't have had access to originally, something like that. It's a long time ago, but it's fascinating. That's why we say corpse in the corporation, and they're just awful. They're just awful. They are not a good thing for democracy or anything. They're not. As we can see, I thought they were so honest. I sense some sarcasm. The sarcasm is strong with this one. Yeah. So, I'm so tired. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, that's my theory on Nissan. Just judging by the backlash they're getting from the owners over here, including me, I think that nails it. By the way, there's a link. I'm gonna put it on I don't have it on this video. I have it on my last two videos, and I'm gonna put it up on this video after I'm done somewhere in the comment section or somewhere. And if in the next 4 years, 3 or 4 years, because it's going to take that long before I get the Cybertruck. If anybody of you are thinking about buying a Tesla, it would be really cool if you would use my little link, because that way we both get 1,500 free miles of charging, which is really cool. So it would be a lot of help. I mean, that's awesome if you could do that. Within the next 3 years, 4 years, you think about buying a car, and you decide, well, maybe I'll try a Tesla out. That'll be a lot of help, because I think our next car, well, I mean, the Cybertruck, as long as it stays true with what stays really close to what Elon promises, and also the price stays really close to what he promises, that's definitely going to be one I'm buying. And then there's also a possibility of a used 3 in the future, according to my wife. She's really into that. So, and this fiasco is going on with Nissan. She's just fuming. She's fuming. It's like, So, the only thing I have the problem with is, you guys keep getting these updates, and I've been doing a lot of research, and this next thing I want to talk about, gosh, dang these glasses. They're useless. It's bright in this house. Tesla had an update. We were talking about it last week with the preview of what full autonomous is going to be like. And what they did is they just show you all the things the car can see now. And one American that I found on YouTube, one guy on a YouTube channel, I think his name, he's okay. He's okay. He's not too bad. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he's better than some of the other ones. What's his name? Out of spec something. I think something like that. I want to do a shout out to him, but I can't remember his name right now, his channel name right now. But he said he did the cannonball. He broke a record on the cannonball run. I don't know what that means exactly. It must be a Tesla thing. I don't know. But he broke the record for traveling from one distance to another. With all the charging involved. And he talks about that once in a while. But anyways, he over in America, and then a guy over in England called. I just watched him this morning too. Anyways, they both are a little upset with the updates. The guy in England is upset for the same reason I would be upset if I owned a Tesla over here. They charge a lot for that full autonomous thing. What is it? Over in America, $7,000. Over here, $7,500. I think England's the same way, $7,500 for it. And just like over here, they don't get much in England, because England, and just like Japan, is very strict. Very strict. And so they're not getting much. We don't even have smart summons, but I guess they have smart summon, but it's such a joke. You have to stand right next to the car. Literally. You have to stand right next to the car to make it work. And he doesn't get lane change. He doesn't get stop sign, stop light, recognition, any of that stuff. But he says, but they gave him the trash bin, the garbage can thing. And he's like, he felt like Tesla's just taking a piss out of us with that. It's like, what? Why would I want to see a trash can show up? He's fuming. Because I feel his pain, man. If I had paid, I told you guys, when I ordered the Cybertruck, I clicked the thing for the $7,500 option of the full autonomous driving. But after doing a test drive of the 3, I realized that wasn't a good idea. Because from what I'm getting from the guy at Tesla over here, he's like, it ain't going to happen. You're never going to see smart summons. You're never going to see the full autonomous. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. So I feel that guy's pain. He paid a lot of money for something he thought was going to happen, and it's just not working. And the autopilot is actually, with the latest update, it's gotten worse. It won't do corners like it used to. It used to slow down in the corners, and I've seen some of his videos, the previous videos. It would slow down and make a corner pretty smooth and stuff. It doesn't slow down now. It's like my autopilot on my Honda, where it just stays the same speed it was, it goes around the corner, which isn't good. That doesn't work too smooth sometimes, as you can imagine. And then the guy in America said something very similar. It's like, he felt like, no, it wasn't him. It was another guy called CF Tesla or something like that. Guy from my neck of the woods. He's from Washington State, it looks like, because he just did a driving to Mount Rainier with autopilot thing. So in his house, it looks like he lives in the Northwest. Anyways, he was talking about, he's like, dude, the trash can thing, do we need that? or was it the other guy? I can't remember. I watched so many videos. I've been doing a lot of studying on the Teslas and what you guys have to offer. And I've noticed that, okay, the same guy that did the cannonball thing, he out of spec motoring, I think it's called. Another complaint he has is with the charging networks. He says they're growing, but it's now they're antiquated. They got a lot of version 1s everywhere, and not even a version 3 in most places on his side. He lives on the East Coast. But he says it is growing, there's more chargers, but why are they making new spots and still using version 1 when they should be using version 3? And he's having a fit about that. He doesn't like sharing. Like, he was showing that he gets worse numbers than a chat immo sometimes when he has to do, I don't know, I don't know much about the chargers still, but when you go on, there's an A charger and a B charger. Whoever got there first gets the main charge, and the guy gets there second, he gets what's left over. And so that just drives him crazy too. He hates that stuff. So it is interesting. The charger network, Tesla's starting to show some fault because of the demand. The demand's going up. There's a lot more 3s out there, and now Tesla's starting to show a little bit of they got a bit of a problem. They got some catching up to do. They're having more and more machines break down during holiday time. Like, this guy just did a trip before Christmas to go to Florida from North Carolina, and it was hell. That was hell, it looked like. His wife and him. And it was funny. His video was very similar to mine. I was watching my old video from my EMV going to Kyoto and back, and it felt very similar to the situation they were having with charging. The only thing they didn't have to worry about that I had to worry about was the battery like overheating and not being able to charge anymore. They didn't have that problem, but they just had to charge. It was like he was doing a lot of short distances. Basically, he was doing the range that a 40 kilowatt hour Leaf could do in America. I mean, he was doing very short distances and charging like a ton. He did like, I don't know, 10 charges or more just to go from North Carolina to Florida, because he didn't want to stay a long time to charge. He thought it was faster to do like 15, 20 minute, 30 minute charges instead of doing an hour. And so he was just boom, 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 do all these quick little charges, just enough to get to the next spot, but he was also finding out that there were queues, a lot of machines were broken down, and then when he did find, it's like sometimes he had to break down. Well, he didn't have to do it, but he was ready to grab his adapter and plug into a CHAdeMO and pay for a charge, because in some cases it would have been better. He would have gotten a better charge speed. With the CHAdeMO, it was that bad, and some of them were really off course. Tesla's starting to fall behind because of demand. I mean, the 3s are in force, which is cool. That's really cool, but it also shows that even Tesla is not, immune to charging nightmares. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. A Cybertruck in Japan? Yeah, a Cybertruck in Japan, baby. Yeah, Wolfgang, totally. Why not? I'm going to have the biggest car on the road. Now, I saw a Toyota Tacoma the other day, and I mean, that guy was this huge truck to Japan, on Japan roads. It looked really funny. I feel like that Cybertruck's going to look as ridiculous. It's going to be pretty funny. And I can't wait to see that. Ray Bevan says, out of spec motoring. I watched them too. Oh, yeah. That guy. And I like him. He's okay. His wife is a character. I even said I'm jealous. My wife is so anti me making these videos that she lets me know every time I turn that camera on. She just shuts down. His wife is she's more of a good sport about it. And she has a better personality than him. She's way more fun. He's got my personality. He's like, no, even Ian Sampson has more personality than us two. He's more like James from Lim Tea Leaf and I. This guy, this out of spec motoring. He's just boom, boom, boom by the numbers and stuff. He's a nice guy, but he's boom, boom, boom by the numbers, and kind of a nerd. Loves talking about cars and stuff. And his wife she's a female. I mean, she's just, her thing is different. But when he turns the camera on, she doesn't get shy. She's very okay with the camera. So she can add something to his videos that my wife won't add, refuses to add. Jordan's wife, he tried that. That didn't work out. He got a lot of nasty comments, so he had to give up on that. Tyler from Hoovie's Garage, he had to give up on that with his wife. But luckily this guy, his wife, so far so good. The only thing I have a problem with this guy is he's a bit of a cuck because he allows his wife to, well, he on purpose, not just allows her, but I mean, he on purpose, when she's walking away, he puts the camera on her butt and stuff. I mean, I feel like he's exploiting his wife's body for, for clicks, for his views and stuff. And I have a problem with that. She's got a really nice face, quite attractive, and she's funny as heck. She's got a really good sense of humor. She's smart. He doesn't need to be doing that stuff, and I just think that's inappropriate. As a husband, you don't exploit your wife's body for clicks. My wife and I even talked about that. She's like, when we first started our channel, I was trying to just get to 500 subscribers, and it took a few years to get 500 subscribers, and it's like, dang it, if only I had, if only we were like Bjorn's age or something. And she's like, well, yeah, I wouldn't do that, first of all. And I said, okay, fine. But she and I thought for a little second there, we were actually thinking about looking for somebody that could co-star in a way, because she doesn't want to do the videos. She's like, find an attractive young girl that wants to be a YouTuber and do do something with her until she gets big enough she can do her own thing. And we were thinking about that just to get clicks. But this guy, he uses his wife in the wrong way. She's funny though. They did a trip. The trip they took to Florida was pretty funny to watch. She was like, whatever, dude. With him, it was funny. See here. See. Also, Jim says, I'm thinking of the used BMW i3. I think they are stopping production soon, but they are an engineering marvel. Oh, because you like that little engine in the back that kicks in, the little motorcycle engine. Yeah, Scotty can't talk enough about those. He loves those, but it to me, well, they're good cars and all. I guess it's still a BMW, and even Scotty has to admit to that. He brags about he thinks the BMW is the only the i3 is the only one to get with that little, I can't remember what it's called, the range extender, with the range extender in it. That's the only EV to buy because of the range extender. But at the same time, he also says, but it's a BMW, so you don't want too old. They break down. BMWs their electronics are crap. They break down. The computers go bad pretty quick. So he was saying, only one to buy, and if you can buy a used one, pretty good, but don't buy too old of a used one. Stay fairly late model used, because they don't last long. So Scotty, he's got weird feelings about that car. I just don't like hybrids. If you want to go electric, go electric. If you don't want to go electric, just stay gasoline. You go like that, and even Scotty had to admit to this too. When you do something, but that's why Scotty does like the 3, because it's not really a hybrid. Hybrids have completely two different power systems, powertrains, a lot more things, double trouble possibility, right? Possibility of double trouble. But with the i3, it's more like it's just like a portable generator that powers the electric wheels when your battery goes dead. So it's a little bit more simple of a system. But yeah, anyways. Just so you know, Old Slow Jim, they also, used ones over here are really expensive. Cheapest used one I found over here is still 50 grand. So yeah, 45 grand, something like that. Yeah, out of spec motoring. He is from South Carolina. Okay. Also owns a racetrack. He owns a racetrack. That explains why he has so much money. He's constantly buying Teslas. He had an S and an X and a 3, now another 3, and now he's pre-ordered the Cybertruck. He went from a rear-wheel drive 3 to a four-wheel drive 3. Now there was a good thing out of that though. He's realized real quick. He bought the extended range dual motor. It's supposed to have better range than the rear-wheel drive, and maybe it still does because the battery pack is bigger. But his watt hours per mile is crap compared to the rear-wheel drive. It's not near as efficient, so it bothers him to no end. You can hear him. He won't actually come out and say it, but you can tell when he talks. It's like he really does miss that rear-wheel drive efficiency. But yeah, that was one thing that came out of it. Explains why he has so much money. Explains a lot. Explains a lot. All right. Yeah, the guy has a expensive taste, and he boom, boom, boom. He just buys. And I thought to myself, like, dang, he has a good job where he can just like, I want that one. No, I'm gonna change. I changed mine. I want this color instead, and things like that. There's people out there, of course, but I don't know any of them. Personally, I don't know anybody like that. But there's people out there. Well, I do know. The funny thing is, I know. I'm kind of friends with the owners of they own a private high school, private junior high, private elementary school, and 2 private kindergartens and one private daycare. So they're loaded, and they also have the university. I'm talking about. They also have the university, Daigaku. It's a huge university over in Soga. They own all of it, plus a shrine. They also own a shrine. The shrines they make good money. And so the husband is a bolsan, the monk, and the wife, she's in charge of all the schools and stuff. And they're super rich. They have a private driver. They don't drive their own cars, but they also don't buy extravagant cars. It's the funny thing is they have a cheap little minivan Noah, but they still use a private driver because over here the laws are you could be screwed if you have an accident. So that's why they have a private driver. Let him take responsibility if he hits somebody. And then they also have a nice Toyota, not even Lexus, just a nice Toyota. And but they still use a private driver for those cars. They're kind of down to earth people, even though they live in a really nice house, and they have like apartments all over the city. Because for the different locations the schools are, she goes or she stays in hotels. On the day she goes out to those schools, his wife is constantly going around different places where all these schools are every week, and so she'll stay in nice high-end hotels, or she'll stay at another house that they own somewhere else. So wealthy people, but even they would not buy cars as often as this guy does, because cars are not a good investment. Even Teslas are a better investment for electric cars than anything out there, but they're still electric cars because there's that. Even though it's a good thing that Tesla's losing that tax referral program thing, that tax credit thing, because that's going to help keep their value up as well on used cars. Right now, over here, there's still a little bit of it there. So when they go to sell a used car, when you buy a used car, you don't get that tax credit. So they have to go down below what a new car is. You know what I'm saying? You guys get it. So your resale value goes much lower over here with a Leaf or a Tesla and stuff. Even though it's just a little bit left, but like they have some dealer cars they're trying to sell. They're not used really. They're like 100 or 300 kilometers only on the odometer. Very low miles, and they want to sell them. They want to sell them for the same price as a new one because you're getting it right away. So they're bonus. But you're not, because it's considered used, you're not going to get any of that tax credit. So they're not pushing. They're not going. They're not moving. The cars aren't going to go anywhere. They have to go down below that because the people want the same deal. Then why not just get a new one that's cheaper? They want to charge the same price as the new one, but the new one is actually cheaper because you get that tax credit, right? Even if it's only, I think it's like $1,500 now over here, you're still getting $1,500 back. With the used one, you're not getting any of that. But you're getting the car sooner. A lot of people are like, no, I'll just get the new things. Where was I? Anyways. If they go full autonomy, why even buy a car? Just Uber, Lyft, everything. Thank you, also, Jim. I feel the exact same way. I even wrote to some guy. This is the guy. There's one guy I don't like. He stands in front. I don't know his name. I don't know his channel name. I've been researching Teslas like crazy. And right now, this latest OS, this latest update they had, which is a really big update in America, where they're showing what full autonomous is going to look like. The sneak peek is what they called it, I think. This guy, he stands in front of his TV in his living room, and he has a little TV with a display on the back behind him, and he's all gung ho on. He just can't wait. And a lot of commenters were saying, "Oh, I can't wait for that." And one commenter scared the hell. I wanted to write. It's like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not comforting knowing that you're driving out there. Some guy that's legally blind and full colorblind, everything's green to him. All lights are green to him. He says he can't wait for getting a Tesla so he, because that's going to make driving a lot easier. It's like, dude, you have a license? You're legally blind? You're going to be driving at night with this car, counting on the car to see all the stuff for you? Yikes. But I did write a comment saying, what's the deal with everybody wants full autonomous driving? Like, you know how I feel. Everybody knows how I feel. Everybody out there on this that are watching me right now on my live stream, you guys have to know how I feel about this. I am not a full-time. I love autopilot. I love ProPilot. I like it where it's kind of like it's your second set of eyes. I love that. I love that. But I don't want a fully autonomous car. I don't want in the future that eventually they're taking the steering wheel out and I just sit in the car, tell the car where I want to go. I don't want that. Now, a lot of people really want that. They really are excited about that. They can't wait for that future. And I wrote, it's like, dude, we already have that. We've got Uber. We've got taxis. We've got Lyft, if Lyft still exists. We've got trains. We've got buses. You got it. You already got it. You've got all these autonomous vehicles. You don't have to do any driving. And the guy wrote back, he said, yeah, I'd use it if it was available to me. It's like, dude, really? I just mentioned all these things. You're in America. I mean, I'm in Japan where Uber is not even allowed. We don't have Uber. We have Uber Eats, but we don't have Uber. Uber's not allowed because the taxi unions had a fit. And it's like, no, we're not going to, don't let them in. And the government's like, yeah, we're not going to allow an outside company to come in and ruin our domestic business thing. So Uber's kicked out, but Uber Eats is okay because they use bicycles and scooters for that. Anyways, here I am on my tangent again. Anyways, even over here, without Uber, even out in the boonies, like you go out to the, you can go out and there's boonies. You can go out to the country and there's nothing but rice paddies everywhere. Even out there, there's buses, there's taxis, and there's trains. Even out there, not as often, not as many as the city, but you're just a phone call away from somebody picking you up in a few minutes. Even out in the boonies. I can't believe there's anywhere in America, or, well, maybe. I mean, America is huge. There could be some remote areas, but still, those people need to learn to drive then. If you're living in Montana or something and you're out in the boonies, out in the woods somewhere, and you take 20, 30 minutes for an Uber to show up, then get a driver's license. I know a lot of kids that drive to school. You know, I saw those when I was young, watching the news about the 12-year-old boy driving all of his brothers and sisters in the big F-150 driving to school because he lived out in the boonies. He got a license. You know, just do that. Yeah, I feel the same way also, Jim. I'm kind of adamant about that. I like ProPilot. I like autopilot. But I like it as a second set of eyes, most likely. I like the fact that I can relax more on long drives. I can take it easy and take my eyes off don't have to stress out so much. I know that the car can drive a little bit for me. But I don't want full autonomous where I don't like taking a train. I just lost somebody watching. Obviously they disagree with me on that. I say, I'm from SoCal. Hey, Terry, buddy, I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you. You're looking good, old man. I am old, and I'm not looking good. Version 3 superchargers wouldn't have to share. Yeah, that's why the guy wants them so bad. Wolfgang says the i3 for another 4 years. We'll be in production for another 4 years. Okay, thanks, Wolfgang. You still got another 4 years of i3, so you can still get a late used model i3 if that's something you're interested in. Also, Jim, definitely don't buy too old because their electronics do tend to go bad kind of quickly. I never catch these live streams. It's a post-Christmas miracle. Happy New Year, buddy. Hey, Chaz! Wow! Hey, it is like post-Christmas. This is awesome. Chaz and Terry, both of you guys I haven't seen in ages. Chaz is the guy I met up with last time I was in America. He gave me that awesome gift basket. By the way, I use those Russian, I don't know what those things are called, Russian dolls. I use them again for my Christmas decorations. The kids love them, my class. Thanks a lot for that gift basket. It is amazing. We're still using everything from stuff that wasn't edible. That stuff's all been eaten. Guys, check it. Okay, I'm sorry. It's gonna be a little dead air. Hang on, real quick. Gosh, my back. Shut up, dog. Shut up, dog. Shut up. Thank you. I'm back. This is for Chaz and Terry. Chaz and Terry, a long time ago when I had Patreon, they were my top tier guys, and so they got gift baskets. I've had these sitting in my room for ages. This one, let's see. This one I believe is, no, this is Terry's. This one's Terry's, I believe. I'll know if I open it up again. Like this, I got this when Alain Pierre, another subscriber from France, came over here, and I took him around, and we went to Tokyo Tower. I got this thing for you, Terry. It's a chocolate. I wouldn't eat it now. It expired April of this year, so probably not a good idea to eat the chocolate now, but it's a really cool case on the inside. And it's from Tokyo Tower 60th anniversary. So I got these gift baskets for you guys, and they've been sitting in my room for ages because shipping them is way more expensive than what I paid for the stuff in them. So I gotta, when I get some money, oh no. Look, I got you Biwa fruit foods. Oh, this one too, it expired. I'll replace this. This one's, I can get still. I can still get this easily in my area. These are Biwa Jellos. They're really cool. I wouldn't eat that. So I'll replace that for you, Terry. I also threw in some other things. Peanuts. These are okay. These are still okay. Yeah. These are cool. These peanut cookies and stuff. Cheaper prefecture goods. I picked up this towel. Yamaha towel. When I went to the car show. Oh no. This candy's no good. Yeah, I can tell already it's no good. I got some cute little handmade candies at the local mall near my house. That's the company's even gone now. I can't replace. Oh boy. Oh, I got you a really cool shirt. Check this out, buddy. Yeah, this is the extra large for Terry. Because Terry said, because Japanese sizes are so small, he said the extra large would be safest. Check it out. It's a Marvel shirt in Japanese. So I got that for you, buddy. Since I can't get my shirt made anymore. We had such a bad accident with my shirt when my mom threw away the shirts you ordered when I was over there 2 years ago. So that's Terry's. And then I got one for you, Chaz, as well. I got you a shirt as well, Chaz. And along with all the jelly, I have to replace all this. That's a keychain. I got to replace all these things that went bad. I have to replace all these things. That's my bad. That was probably stupid of me. Hold on to it. I forgot how much food I had in there. How many food items I had in those. That was stupid. I mean, I just wasted a lot of money. It would have been cheaper just to send them when I had it. Ah, jeez. But I also need my wife's help. So, yeah. Anyways, that's awesome. You guys are here. Thanks for joining me. Let's see here. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, buddy. That's the Chaz. Happy New Year, Chaz. Happy New Year, Terry. Merry Christmas to all you guys. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope your New Year is even better than this year. Hope mine will be. They will continue, i3, but too expensive with a small battery, in my opinion. Well, yeah, the Chevy Bolt. I think Chevy Bolt was way far better idea than i3, personally, too. But the Chevy Bolt's not available over here, and Oslo Gym is moving to Japan eventually. So I don't think Bolt's going to be an option over here. Raleigh, North Carolina here. Hey, Bubba, get some. Bubba, get some. Oh, I love your name. That's awesome. Bubba, get some. That's awesome. Hey, buddy, North Carolina. So you are from general area of that other Tesla owner that I watch. He's from South Carolina, I guess. I wonder how long before full self-driving is ready and legal to use. Maybe 5 to 8 years. I'm thinking longer than that because Tesla's showing they're having a lot of issues. Every time you're doing it, it's like one step forward, 2 steps back, it seems like every update they do. And it's fun to watch. It's really cool to get those updates, especially America has the best, they have the best full autonomous going right now. Europe, you have to keep in mind the governments restrict a lot. Like Japan, the government has to approve every update. So Japan's way behind the updates because the government has to physically, they have to look at it and check it out and make sure they approve of it and blah, blah, blah. And I think UK is the same way because nothing's working over there like it works in America. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the stuff. But that's why I like watching some of these channels out there, like Dirty Tesla and stuff like that. These guys do all these tests, these autopilot tests. And they find it fascinating how when they get an update, it's like, okay, this works now, but now this doesn't work. And it's like 2 steps forward or 1 step back or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's always like that with it lately. Another thing is they keep talking about full autonomous. I don't think with the current hardware on a Tesla, I know you have to do, some people want it, they have to do an upgrade on their older Teslas, hardware upgrade. But even then, if you want full autonomous, you're going to need even more of an upgrade. The current computers in these Teslas are impressive, but when they want to go full autonomous, you're going to have to have a super, super fast computer. Much more powerful than what they got right now even. And it's going to, not anytime soon. I don't think. Let's see. No greedy corporations. Let's see. This is from Beth. No greedy corporations want it, so they don't have to pay bus drivers, truck drivers, cab drivers. No drivers, no profit, more profits. Good point. Beth, you're right on the money too. So that's what I was talking about earlier with corporations. They're going to be they're going to be our downfall if we don't rein them in somehow. They're going to be our downfall. There's no way to rein them in. They're just awful. Corporations are awful. Let's see. Autonomous makes corps more money. Right. John says, hi from York in the United Kingdom. Hey, buddy. Hey, John. Thank you for joining my chat. Thank you. It's nice to finally catch you on the live stream. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, buddy, and Happy New Year. Thanks, John. Aaron says, I think full self-driving is not happening anytime soon. It's extremely difficult. Yeah, exactly. You need way more powerful computers than he's just repeating what I said, but he said it first because I'm so far behind. Sorry, guys. Chocolate never expires. Thanks, Terry. Good. True about the corporations, Beth. Worry about a lot of people's jobs. Yeah. Terry Parks, don't worry about it, buddy. Cool. The shirt, that will be cool. Yeah, the shirt will be cool. You're gonna love it. I thought of you guys when I saw those shirts. I was at they're from Uniqlo. When I was at Uniqlo, it was just before the Avengers movie, Endgame. Just before Endgame came out, and so they had this big thing going on at Uniqlo over here, and I saw those shirts. I was like, those are awesome. I got to get one for them. I know they have Uniqlo in America, and they probably even had the same shirts over there, but hopefully you guys didn't buy it. They are planning another battery update for the i3 in the future. Okay, that's good to know, Wolfgang. Thanks, buddy. Wolfgang's got some good inside information about the i3. Hopefully they'll make it even better, bigger. Also, Jim's, wow, thank you. Big help. By the way, also, Jim, if it wasn't for you and I would have had a little bit less of a Christmas this year. Thanks to you guys, I got paid in a nick of time, $100 from Google AdSense, whatever. Thanks to both of you guys contributing to the super chats, because I pulled most of my videos down. I've only left a few of my videos up, and they don't. Like I said, I'm being shadow banned kind of, so I'm really shocked. The numbers are going down. My live chat's going down. I had 17. That's awesome. 17. That's a Christmas gift to me. Never had that many watching at one time. That's a big deal. But yeah, I'm kind of being shadow banned in a way, and so that was a big help. Thanks a lot. I was able to get some nice gifts from my family thanks to that money. Thanks a lot. Big help. Sweet money, good. Right. I was going to use it for my Cybertruck, I thought, but I was going to put it towards Cybertruck, but I felt like I should get something for my kids. And that's what I did. They we had a very small Christmas, simple, but it was nice. Most of my presents were things I made, homemade cookies and stuff. This is a candy bar I made, homemade candy bar. It's chocolate with caramel nougat, walnut, and oatmeal, and incredibly good. The crumbly topping is just amazing. As you can see, these cookies are these little, I call them candy bars. These candy bars are amazing, really great, really good. And so I made a whole bunch of those and some cookies for my family and stuff. Gave them to my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my kids and stuff. And we had a nice pork roast, huge pork roast. As a matter of fact, I still have like this much left in the fridge. So we had a good dinner, really good dinner. Pork roast from Costco. So really, thanks a lot. You want your kids to remember you when you get old. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Well, that's what I do want to remember me. Because when they get old, right? When they get old, because I won't be around much longer probably. I have so many health issues. So I do want to remember me. So man, it's hot today. Outside cold, but inside this house is hot. I got caught up. Awesome. So that's boy, I was reading all those comments and kind of got sidetracked. Anyway, so these boxes, I have to update the snacks and stuff, and maybe I'll look for some new things to throw in, and I'll try to get those out sometime. I want to get them out before my birthday. My birthday's sometime next month. I'm not going to tell you guys when, but my birthday comes up next month, and I'll try to get them out before my birthday. I'll do my best. This candy's hilarious. I bought this candy. It's homemade candy, handmade candy at a store. And it was Enjoy Summer. And they're just like, they're fused together now. Ew. And they're kind of slimy. I can feel it. They're like, ew. They're starting to melt, kind of. These went bad. This is garbage. Sorry. That was for Terry, wasn't it? Sorry, Terry. That was a fail. I'll replace it with something. I'll replace it with something. Before I send the package, I'll get you some new stuff. Well, at least you say the chocolate doesn't expire. That's good. I really do want to thank you guys, all you guys, for all the support you've given me over the years. Big thanks for that. Seriously, I wouldn't have had much of a Christmas if it wasn't for the super chats. Really, it did help. I wasn't gonna do anything much anyways, but because of that super chat, it just came like I think we got it on the 23rd, something like that, 23rd, 24th. I was able to do some last second Christmas shopping so the kids have something that they could open on Christmas. So big thanks for that, guys. Let's see. So anyways, Nissan America, really bad. According to what I hear from Scotty and stuff, he thinks they're going to be going bankrupt soon. They're bleeding bad. It's not because of electric, it's because of the gasoline side. But I don't think they did any favors to the electric owners over there when they sold the battery company. You know, they were manufacturing their own batteries at their plant in Tennessee, and they sold the manufacturing company to a Chinese company. And of course, they jacked the rates up on the battery packs. Brilliant. And then in UK, I don't know what's going on with them either. But in Japan, we still have NEC doing the battery packs for us over here. But with this latest thing with the charge rates and stuff, we talked about earlier, I could show it for you guys that are late to the game. One more time, I'll pop it up. This is what they're doing right now. Right now, the current card I have for charging is I pay $20 a month, and I can use unlimited use of the chargers of the networks. And we have a huge network over here. Huge network of chargers. Dealerships alone it's like over 5,000 locations. But then there's also over 1,000 locations at what they call road stations or Michino Ekis. And then there's also malls and convenience stores. That's not even including the convenience stores and malls. And then there's also the highways. So the highways, almost every rest stop now has at least one, most of the time 2 chargers available. And my card covers all those chargers. So I pay $20 a month and I get unlimited use of all those chargers. When you have a first-gen Leaf, especially in the wintertime, that's a big deal. You need that. They're getting rid of that. And starting after December 16th of this year, starting already, December 16th of this year, they have changed it to now you have to pay it's complicated. It's actually kind of complicated. You have the premium program where you pay $40 a month, $60 a month, or $100 a month, and you get either 10 charges a month, 20 charges a month, or 40 charges a month with that for for that flat rate. Well, not flat rate, but yeah, I guess it's a flat rate for that. And then after that, if you go over that, if you need more than 10 charges, then you pay $3.50 every 10 minutes. On the premium 10 plan, on the premium 20 plan, you pay $3 every 10 minutes, so that's like $9 for 30 minutes. And then on the premium 40, you pay $7.50 roughly for 30 minutes if you go over the 40 charges. Or you can do a simple plan where you pay $5 a month just to be able to use the chargers, and then they charge you $5 for every 10 minutes. So you can imagine 5, 10, 15, 20. That's like $20. No, it's 15. $15 a charge, and at the same time, but they're still charging a. This is what's really confusing. So you pay for 30 minutes. You're going to pay $15 for a 30-minute charge, and then they still charge you a 1.5 yen every minute of that 30 minutes. So you're adding another 50 yen probably onto that for some reason, probably a tax. So it gets complicated because then if you also want to do a 3-year contract like a cell phone contract, then they'll let you pay only $25 a month for the premium 10 and $45 a month for premium 20 and $85 a month for premium 40. But if you break that contract, if you sell the car and you don't need it anymore and you break the contract before 3 years is up, you have to pay like a $100 penalty fee or something like that. Also, the premium 20, if you look at that, even at the $45 rate, that's close to what fuel costs for a K car over here for a month of fuel. So it's really eating into it's eating into that savings area of running cost of electric car versus fuel car. With those K cars, some of our K cars over here can get close to 100 miles to the gallon. Some of them, the little teeny ones, like the Suzuki Altos and stuff, they get close to 100 miles to the gallon. They're a ridiculous range on a gasoline car. The one I have is one of the biggest K cars out there, so I get about 50 miles to the gallon, 40 to 50 miles to the gallon, which is still wicked good. I usually go, I don't usually go over $60 a month for gas. I do one fill's $25 to $30, depending on what the rates are at the time, to fill it up, $25, $30 to fill it up for on the tank. And that'll last me 2 weeks roughly, because I use it for work. So most of the time I can get away with just two fill-ups. So $50 to $60 for me, for my big car. For other people with smaller cars, they would be looking at about $40. So my point is that it's kind of taking away with this new program. It's kind of taking away the incentive to buy an electric car, because these K cars are also really cheap, especially the high fuel economy teeny ones. They're like $15,000 to buy new, and then you get 100 miles to the gallon, and they're not bad. They're teeny, but they're kind of fun to drive, and they're like they're about the size of those little Mini Coopers, original Mini Coopers, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, a little bit bigger than the original Mini Cooper. Not quite as big as the new Mini Cooper from BMW. They're right in between those. Anyways, those get about 100 miles to the gallon. They're fun to drive, and they're kind of cute, and they're pretty popular because they're so cheap and the fuel economy is ridiculous. So yeah, Nissan, I think, just slit their own throats as far as business-wise goes, because they're not selling. Their best-selling cars are the Selena and the E-Plus, the E-Power Selena and the E-Power Note. Those are best-selling cars, and yet they're still not that great at selling cars. The Leaf has never been a very good selling car over here. It was starting to pick up momentum, and then they just dropped this bomb. Even my dealer didn't even know it. He just bought one. He bought a Leaf back in August. Had no idea this was coming. They didn't warn anybody. And then December 16th, they came out with a new model Leaf. Boom. Minor change, a new Leaf, minor change, with a little bit better ProPilot, not 2.0, but a little bit better ProPilot, just a little bit tweaked on certain things, and along with that new Leaf, they came out with this new plan, and it has, obviously you can imagine the current Leaf owners over here are flipping out, they're fuming. I've still got 4 years left on my card, so I'm good to go. My dealer has almost still like 4.5 years left on his current card, but I don't see him keeping that car after that card expires. He'll probably trade that car back to probably a K car or something. He's going for a low cost, and that's why he bought the Leaf. And the car, he bought the 40 kilowatt hour one standard but it does have ProPilot, so he still paid like 40 some $1,000 for his car, and yeah, 42 paid about 42,000 with the ProPilot, 42,000 for his car, and he can get like a gasoline Nissan with fairly decent range, fuel economy, for about half that or less, and so he's fuming. Everybody's fuming. Even the dealers are fuming. The people that bought the cars. A lot of dealers have the Leafs, and a lot of them are fuming now. They might get a special deal. They can. I know they charge when they're working, so I don't think they pay for the charges. When they take the car to work, they can charge there for free. But that's when you're working. When you want to go for a drive or something, you're not going to get that for free anymore. So yeah, I also said earlier, a lot of leaf to home people. We can't store our own electricity with our solar panels and stuff. So a lot of people use leaf to home, and what they do is they charge up for free at the dealership, come back with the battery fully charged on their car, and then they power their house in the daytime when the electricity rates are high. And so yeah, let me see if I get caught back up on here. Let's see. I just got here. What's the news about Nissan? Oh, there you go, Jill. I hope that fills you in. When did you get here? How long ago did you write that? 112. Okay, you heard. So that's what's going on with Nissan. In Japan, Nissan, they just really upset the Leaf. We wouldn't even known about it. Nissan tried to do a sneaky one. They weren't saying a thing, but it made the network news over here, the national news over here, because of all the current owners flipping out. They're just freaking out about this, because there's a lot of first-gen Leafs over here like mine, and those owners are just their cars are about to expire. They have to renew them, and now they have to do these new cars where also another thing, we got 5 years. I think it was a 5-year card, and there was no cost, and you could cancel any time, and there was no charge. Now they only do 3 years to get a little bit of a discount, and if you break that, if you like sell the car or something and you want to break the contract, they charge you a penalty fee. It's crazy. So that's what's going on with that, Joe. Nissan is not in the public eye, in my opinion. Not in the public eye, meaning they're kind of invisible to people. Is that what you mean? Their lineup is not inspiring. Trucks are so-so. Yeah, cars are boring. No real sports car, just overweight 2-seater. Well, no, I actually have a lot of respect for that. GTR. The GTR is pretty amazing. I like the Skyline GTRs, the original ones, more, but I still have a lot of respect for that GTR. It pulls a lot of G's. It's a fairly decent car. But according to Scotty, because they're using a lot of well, now it's gonna be Renault as well. They've teamed up. Is it Renault they teamed up with? Peugeot. It's Renault and Peugeot now, isn't it? Anyways, Renault, there's a lot of Renault parts in their cars, and it's driving their quality is going down. Their transmissions are junk, and the engines don't last as long either. So Scotty Kilmer, he's just like stay away from Nissan right now. Let's see, only American market, right. Obviously, Nissan Japan, we aren't using this. As a matter of fact, they learned their lesson. They tried importing a couple cars from Europe that were big sellers in Europe to Japan, and because they had a lot of those Renault parts in them, they broke down quite quickly, and they actually they were not sued, but they got a lot of trouble with the owners and stuff, so they stopped. It was Dualis. They tried the Dualis over here. That failed miserably. They tried one other car. Well, the EMV, I got the EMV. That was made in Spain. And that thing was kind of a nightmare. Luckily, I was under warranty at the time when I still had it, but it was always breaking down. I had the drive shaft replaced twice on it. It was still not working right. And then the seat heater on the left-hand side broke. Didn't even know it, Couldn't even tell right away, because seat heaters never really worked that good on that car. It never really got really warm. And I finally realized, hey, this is just my butt heat. This isn't the seat heating up, it's my butt. And I checked it out, and sure enough, and they said it would be $400, and it's not under warranty. $400 to replace the seat heater on the left-hand side passenger seat. I was like, nah, forget it. So, the Renault stuff ain't very good. And so Japan, they stay away from it. So their cars are a little bit better over here, but still, like you said, nothing too inspiring. So they're bottom of they're the bottom of the top three. The top three got Toyota, then Honda, and then Nissan. They're bottom top three. But I think Mazda's catching up really quick. Mazda, definitely as far as Japanese cars goes, I think they make the best looking cars. I don't know if they're the most dependable still. They don't even make their own engines. But definitely the best looking cars out there for Japanese cars. Toyota, I'm not a big fan of. Honda, I like Honda a lot. Their cars are fairly good looking to me. Honda remind me, it's kind of like a Japanese BMW. They have a BMW feel to them somehow, the body style. It seems like it's really hard to compete with a K car. That's true. It really is. But the EVs still have savings and maintenance, and folks can home charge, hopefully for cheaper than buying gas. You're right on, Chaz. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, obviously, home charging, if you do it at night, like when the rates are cheaper, it's definitely going to be less than gas still, even over here. And our electricity rates are pretty high, but gas is even higher. We pay per liter. And per liter right now is for the cheap gas is $1.45 roughly, $1.45 a liter, so 3.6 liters to a gallon roughly. Just round up to 4. You can figure that out. It's pretty expensive gasoline, and so even with our higher electricity rates, it's still cheaper. And so yeah, that you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. And the maintenance should be lower. Should be. And I think it is. I bought this usually. It's going on. It's gonna be 5 years old in January. It's really close, and it does make a little noise. I think it has to do with the calipers, possibly. I had it checked out. They said it seems fine to them, but it's making noise. It's kind of driving me crazy. It squeaks a lot. And eventually, it's gonna have to be repaired. I'm gonna have to get that fixed eventually. And I'm not in warranty, obviously, on that probably right now. Seems okay. The Leafs seem pretty durable. They do seem pretty durable. The Teslas, not so sure about yet. It's too soon for the 3. The S, we already know about the S's problems. They fixed a lot of them. In 2016's update, they got a lot of the problems fixed. They changed the motor. They changed the power unit and the main control unit. All 3 of those things got changed and replaced. They still have caliper problems, and that can be very expensive. It can be a $7,000 fix if they have caliper problems with the pistons and stuff. Just little things. I mean, those are little things, but they can be expensive because you're dealing with a company where you can only repair at that company, which keeps it a little pricey. But yeah, Nissan and some of these other car companies out there, they seem a little bit more rugged and durable and can handle 4 or 5 years of use without any kind of maintenance, which is a good deal for a lot of people because a lot of people just lease anyways, right? So that's good. Let's see. Also, GTR is $130,000. Yeah, I know. GTR Nissan. Yes, right, I know. Very expensive, right. And now that the new Corvette's coming out soon at $60,000, that's going to kill the GTR probably a little bit. There's always going to be, there's a kind of person out there that likes the GTR. There's a kind of, they're the same people the kind of people they're not the same people, but it's kind of the same kind of person. There's a kind of person out there that likes Japanese anime. I can't stand it myself. I think it's ridiculous and it's disgusting and stupid. But there's a kind of person out there that just they live for the anime and they're so gleeful when a new anime comes out and they just brag to their friends about how they know every episode and stuff. And it's the kind of thing with the GTR. There's a kind of person out there that is just that's the epitome of Japanese sports racing. And it's not this is before Fast and Furious, but I think Fast and Furious got the idea from it a little bit. Because before Fast and Furious came out back in the early 90s, not early, yeah, mid-90s, about 95, I knew a kid, he was just totally into the Nissan, the Skyline GTR, and just all about it. And I didn't even he was lucky I knew of it. The reason why I heard about it is because I had some Japanese student pilots living in the same apartment complex as me, and I made friends with one of them, and he asked me if I knew it, and he showed me a picture of it, and he says, "Do you like that?" And I said, "Oh, it's the most ugly thing I ever saw." And he laughed. He said, "Yeah, it's what all the foreigners always say. It doesn't look like a sports car. It doesn't look like, but it's the fastest production car we have for sports car in Japan." And this is back in '95 or something like that. And then I saw this other friend I had, and he was American, and he had a whole bunch of DTR magazines in his room. I was like, "Oh," and he's a huge fan. There's gonna be people out there just like they're diehard GTR fans, and for good reason. I mean, when it was a Skyline GTR, it has a long history. It's got a good pedigree to it, and it is it's a really good car for Japanese sports, and. But the Fairlady Zetto, the 300, I don't know what it's called now, but it used to be 300ZX. But the Fairlady Zet, that's overpriced, heavy, crappy car. You get the Nismo, it's a little bit better, but they used to have one called the, gosh, I can't remember the name of it right now. Basically, it was a 180. What was it? Not Fairlady. Sylvia. Then a Sylvia. I kind of like that car. It was kind of a fun one to drive. But yeah, it is what it is. K cars are 40% of the total car sales in Japan, I think. Yeah, that's crazy good, and it's getting better and better. It's going up because fuel prices ever since the earthquake they went skyrocketing, and then they went down a little bit. But you know how it is when these corporations, the oil companies. They will take advantage of a good disaster. And so they skyrocketed the prices after the earthquake, and they brought them back down, but they never came down to where they were before the earthquake. And now they slowly crept back up again. And now we're getting really close to the earthquake era prices. It's ridiculous. And so more and more people buying the K cars. A lot of these K cars are way, way better fuel economy than a hybrid. And once again, you are better off buying a K car. A lot cheaper. No batteries to replace, and less to go wrong. If you're choosing between a K car and a hybrid, K car, not hybrid. K car and electric car, you're right, Chaz. You're right. They're depending on your situation. The K car or the electric car could still be the one for you. But my point is though, it's where it used to be. It was a no-brainer. Is now you have to calculate. You have to think about. What am I going to use it for? What's my purpose? Why am I buying it? And a lot of people are going to say, yeah, I'll just go with the K car. They did cut their sales. There are car people and non-car people, like everything. Bike people, scooter people. There's pony people, doggy people, and kitty people. Yes, that's absolutely right, buddy. I like that also, Jim. Yeah. Aaron's a 240 SX. Tuners love that car, I guess because it's rear-wheel drive. Right on, right. That's, what's this guy? What's the blue? What's that guy's name? He's got the blue one. Gosh, I used to watch this channel all the time. I can't remember his name right now, the young guy. I used to watch the channel all the time. I'm not really a big fan of it anymore, but back in the day, I used to watch the channel all the time. And he has the blue 240. I think he calls it Smurf or something. And it's the ugliest blue I've ever seen. Really ugly car. It's like of all the paint colors, that one, but he likes it. But that's a real popular car on the YouTubers' channels. But I can't remember the name right now. Yeah. So that's that. And once again, to all you guys that are just joining me, I pre-ordered I pre-ordered a Cybertruck. It's going to be 3 to 4 years before I even see it over here in Japan. If any of you, in that time frame, between now and 4 years from now, if any of you decide to buy a car and you think about buying a Tesla, please use my link. I'm going to put the link in. It's on my previous two videos, and I'll put it on here after I'm done with the live stream. Use my link, and we can both get 1,500 miles of free supercharging. Nice. I get 1,500 kilometers, actually a lot less than you guys. About half the miles of you guys. But still, for over here, a lot. That will last me more than a year, easily. My Honda, my inbox, my little K car, which I use for work on a daily basis, 5 days a week, I am just now at almost 2 years of age. Well, over a year and a half. I'm just now getting to 16,000 kilometers. That's it. That's all I got. Almost. It's a year and 10 months. I think it's a year and 10 months old. You know, at 16,000 kilometers. So 16,000. 16,000. Yeah, 16. What is it? 15,000, right? 15. What is it? 1,500 is a 15,000 miles. 1,500. 1,500. Okay. So I'm okay. Well, it will still last me a long time. Maybe not a year, but it'll still last me a long time. Okay. So I'm getting on my K car. I'm just at almost 2 years. Well, a year and 10 months. I'm at 16,000, and you get. If you order if you order a Tesla using my link, I get 1,500 and you get 1,500. Still 1,500 will last me, what would that be? A couple months. That's really cool. A couple months of free charging. Equivalent to a couple months, depending on how much I drive, you know. So that's cool. If you guys do that, it'll be a lot of help. Thank you very much for that. That's kind of cool they offer that. Why doesn't Nissan offer something like that with this new program? They got this new program. Why do they offer something like that? Hey, refer a friend and get some, get like a couple months of free charging. Sky Tai Hodai again. Boom. That would help a lot. You think? Jeez. Mustang guy. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, Aaron. Right. A lot of those old cars, 2240 SX, are really nice and so many options. Yeah, they do. Yeah, over here too. The Sylvia was a huge. I even told the guys I was shocked when they discontinued that car because it was such a good seller, right to the point. They had a convertible version. It was so cute. My friend had one. He let me drive it around a little bit. It's just a fun little car to drive around. Solid. It felt good. He had a manual transmission, so Scotty would approve because it was manual, not automatic. And so it was nice. Chaz says, is there e-Power K car? They're working on, I think. They're also supposedly working on a K electric. And but the rumor is they will have eventually an e-Power K car. Not yet though. Not yet. Good question. Right now for e-Power we have, what do we have? We have Selena. We have Note. We have one more. Don't we? Or is that it? Selena, Note. I thought we had one more. I can't remember. I think there's an X-Trail coming soon. e-Power X-Trail, maybe. My sports car days are long gone. Yeah, me too, buddy. I've become too practical, I suppose. We all do. You get to a certain age, especially as a family man. Yeah, you do. That's why people like Teslas. You can be practical and still have you can get the hint. Even with the threes, you get the performance package with the three. You don't even need a performance package. Let's get real. You just get the regular, the dual motor one, the regular dual motor extended range one, and without the $2,000 upgrade, you can still get that feel of a sports car again, and still be a practical man. But with the S's especially, S's and the X, even the X, man, it's ridiculous speeds. That's why the electric cars are popular. You can still get that. You can still remind yourself once in a while what it felt like to be in those sports cars. That's kind of cool. 16,000 kilometers. Thank you, also, Joe. Oh, electrical car. Right. SEMA had a right-hand drive 240 SX and a Fairlady Z, both Japanese specs. Cool. So they're obviously not street legal, but they're just sounds like just show cars anyways. Yeah. But that's cool. I always wanted to go see SEMA. I don't even know how long it's been going, but I didn't even know about it until just a few years ago. I learned about it. Literally, 4 or 5 years ago is when I first heard of SEMA. Now I really want to check it out. It sounds like more fun than a car show, really. It's all the aftermarket parts and stuff show, but they, people bring their customized vehicles and stuff. It's pretty cool. I would have liked to check that out. Rich Rebuilds. I love that guy. He's awesome. He took his rebuild. He calls it his. He calls it. What's he call it? his hybrid. What is it called? What do you call it? He doesn't call it what it really is. It's an i8. He bought a wrecked i8, rebuilt it for really, really cheap. He rebuilt it really, really cheap. Had it wrapped to cover up some of the stuff he couldn't fix, and it looked beautiful. He took it to SEMA to show it off, and it was. He says it was funny because it was way more popular than when he rebuilt his Model S. He bought a wrecked Model S, rebuilt that, and took it to SEMA, and then I think it was there with him. I think both cars were there. And the i8 was way more popular, which blew his mind. But at the same time, he says it is a nice car. It's a good-looking car. He likes it a lot. What does he call it, though? He calls it his Prius. His Prius. He calls it his Prius because it is a hybrid. It looks like a fun car. The i8 looks like a pretty fun car. He loves it. He got it really cheap because it was totally just gone. The whole side was just totally torn up, and he fixed it. He did a really great job. Street legal 25-year rule. Ah, there you go. Okay. SEMA cover all of Vegas. Ugh. Really? Yikes. We have something like that over here. Makahati's an area for convention area. Huge convention center over in Makahati. We used to do the car show over here. The Tokyo Motor Show used to be done in Makahati, and the people, they've just flipped out. The whole area becomes a parking lot. You just can't move. Bicycles. You can't use a car to get around. You can't go shopping with a car. Can't do anything in the neighborhood. It's bicycle only. It's chaos. So what they did is they moved it to the big site, Tokyo Big Site. It's over near Odaiba, and it's kind of like it's in a more industrial area, not so many apartments or houses around that area. So not so many complaints. I remember going there to the Tokyo Motor Show quite a few years ago. To give you an idea how long ago, it was when the A-Class was still the ugly thing, and it was kind of new. It was quite a while ago, like 98, 2000. No, I went to the 2000. I think it was a 2000 motor show. It was a long time ago, and it was in Makahati, and it was just chaos. It was crazy. So they moved it. So SEMA, I actually wouldn't want to go there if it's like that. I don't like crowd. You know how I don't do well with crowds. I almost left my I have an apology. I took it down because I took down most of my videos because of what's going on with YouTube lately, and they're just barking at me and review your videos, take your videos down. And I felt like the apology video. I almost left it up though, because it's from 4 years ago or 2 years ago. It's from 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago where I flipped out. I had a major meltdown because of the crowds. I just can't handle crowds, and I had a major meltdown. I was literally on the floor, just melting down and just flipping out. And it was exasperated by all these tourists, Chinese tourists. They whipped out their phones and laughing at me, and they were recording me flipping out, and it just made me worse. And I went on a tirade against them. I attacked them pretty much, and so I had to make an apology video, apologizing for my poor behavior, and I almost left it up. That's how bad I am. I am not good with crowds, so I probably could go to SEMA. I came to the wrong country. But that's why I stay out here in the country, though. I stay out here in the suburbs. I don't go to Tokyo very often. And when I go to Tokyo, it's at night usually, when it's not so crowded. So, there. Oh, gosh. I gotta keep checking my... Let's see here. It takes all 4 days to see everything crazy. We'll have to go together when I get out there permanently. I did Tokyo Motor Show this year. So yeah, I didn't even go because it just didn't sound. I checked out their homepage, and it was so ridiculous. They didn't do a very good job. I hear the bike part was really good, the motorcycle part was really good, but the car part, everybody was disappointed with the car part of the motor show. It's just their theme was ridiculous. It was very similar to the previous theme. They keep pushing this stupid thing, and. And the funny thing is the government's not even behind it. You know, the government's not even on board with this eco thing and this EV thing. And the only reason why I say it's stupid is because, like I said, they push it like this is the way of the future, and the government's like anti that. And so most of the majority of the Japanese people are anti-electric as well. I bet you there's more pro-electric percentage of Americans than there are in Japan. Go figure. You know, a lot of Americans probably assume that Japanese are very eco-friendly and all stuff, and Japanese people, they hate EVs. I still get a lot of dirty looks and stuff. They hate us. And so I guarantee there's a bigger percentage of people that support EVs in America than over here in Japan. Dudes, I am going to go. It's been a great chat with you. It's getting late for you guys probably. It's 1:45. I started at 12, so almost 2 hours. Probably should get going. Let's see. Let me read some more chats. Let's see. Well, I have to go. Well, okay, let's see. We have Barrett Jackson Classic Car Auction in January. Super busy, lots of millionaires, but anyone can go. Cool. Never even heard of it, Aaron. See, once again, like SEMA, I've never heard of that. It's probably something famous, and I don't know about it. I would love to check that out too sometime. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I need to get over to America and just check things out in a decent time of year, like spring or summer. Not gonna happen anytime soon. Although I did have somebody come on my last day of school. My last day of school here for 2019. We were doing a birthday party, and I had a woman show up out of the blue, asking about our school, and I let her come in, and she ate cake and enjoyed the birthday party with our class, and hopefully I will see her next year, and she'll join our school. So the homepage seems to be working, my new homepage, and I'm optimistic that I will eventually get some more people. I mean, I did almost immediately after I got my third server homepage up and got it working decently. Almost immediately, I did get one new student that was going. Her mom was driving from our location, way far away up in the mountains, practically, to go to some international school. So she actually moved her work over there so she could commute with her daughter, work over there, and take her daughter home. That's how important it was for her to find a good international school. And when she found us, she loved us, and she moved back. She changed work, so her work's over here again, and now her daughter comes to us. And that's cool, and I'm hoping for the same with this new lady that showed up. Things could get better for my family soon, hopefully. It's just the taxes. I'm still suffering from the taxes. I'm still paying taxes that, based on my salary from 2 years ago or 1 year ago, when I had a lot more students and a lot more income. So it's a little rough, but yeah, things are looking good. Things are looking up. So that's cool. Later be good. Yeah, also Jim, thanks buddy, and thank you again that was really awesome. You didn't have to do that, really, dude. Thanks though, really appreciate it. Because like I said, if it wasn't for you and my kids might have had a little bit less of a good. They wouldn't have had much to open up, if anything. So thanks a lot, buddy. Wolfgang Vander says the first electric K car in Japan was the Mitsubishi. You know what? You're right. and they still make it. They still make that. It is the first. It was actually the first mass-produced electric car in the world. It beat Nissan and Tesla. The IMEV. It was wicked expensive when it first came out. It was over $40,000 for a car with a smaller range than 100 miles and a very teeny car. So it didn't sell well, but it was the first one produced. If you watch Who Killed the Electric Car, Gon talks about it in that documentary. It's pretty hilarious because Gon's getting ready to introduce the Leaf back in 2010 in this documentary, and somebody says, "Well, the iMeave just popped out." And he's like, "What is that?" And they look at their cell phones and looking at it, and Gon starts chuckling. So, $40-some thousand for a K car. Yeah. He's pretty much laughing about it because it's a 4-passenger only, and it's a teeny car. But you know what? I love that little car's looks. Originally it was a gasoline car, and they converted to electric. And I always liked that gasoline car. And then when they made the Meave, an iMeave electric, I just loved it even more. But I couldn't afford it. And I went looking for a used one a couple years ago. Mother-in-law was looking for a car. I was going to get her that. I thought it'd be really cool. Unfortunately, they're beaten to heck by the time we find them used, and they're not cheap enough. Because they were so expensive, the resale value is still pretty high for as beat up as they are. But you never know. They're still producing them. They're still being manufactured right now. But the price is still kind of high, if you ask me. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Wolfgang, you're absolutely right. That is a K car, and we still have that. But I was talking like wagon. I should have been more specific. I meant like my inbox, the wagon style, the big boxy wagon. Nissan supposedly, 2 years ago, they started saying they're going to make a wagon style K car. It was going to be with Mitsubishi. They're going to work together on a collaboration because the iMe was so popular. I don't mean that. I didn't mean that. It's kind of popular. But they already had a K car platform, so they were going to work with. They were going to design it. So Nissan. What the plan was, Nissan was going to design the car, and then Mitsubishi was going to manufacture it. They already do that with my mother-in-law's current wagon. She has a current gasoline wagon, and it's called Days Looks, but in the Japanese, the Mitsubishi version is a different name. I can't remember the name of it. And they actually manufacture it for Nissan as well. It's a Mitsubishi. It's 100% Mitsubishi, but it's got a Nissan badge on it. Anyway, so Nissan's going to make an electric version of something like that, some kind of wagon electric EV. But keep in mind, that was a couple years ago they started the plans. And then Mitsubishi had that huge scandal. They almost went bankrupt. Nissan bought them out. And it just fell apart after that. So I don't know what's going on with that. But that's what I meant, Wolfgang. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I meant the wagon style. Yeah, you're right. The K car. That was the very first mass-produced electric car out there. That was decent. With regenerative braking, decent range for the battery size. That was the first one. And then the Leaf, and then the Tesla Model 12. Or Model S. 2012 Model S came out. Model 12. 2012 Model S, 2011 the Leaf. I think 2009 or 10 was the iMe. But you're absolutely right. Thanks also, Jim. Really. Thanks Terry. Thanks Chaz for joining me. Happy New Year, guys. I hope you have a great New Year's. Thank you so much for joining me in this chat. I had a lot of fun. I hope I hit everything. I always, when I turn off the stream, it's when I was like, I forgot something. I probably forgot something. We'll talk about it next time, hopefully. All right, guys. You have a good one. And Wolfgang, thanks for joining. All you new guys, let me get your names if I can see if I can find your names. Wolfgang's new. Thanks for joining me, Wolfgang. John, thanks for joining me. And there's another guy with a really cool Beth, I haven't seen you in ages too. Thanks for joining me, Beth. And Bubba Get Some. Thanks a lot. Bubba Get Some. I love that. Thanks for joining from I think he's from North Carolina. Chaz, thank you so much. That's a nice Christmas present. Thank you so much. Wow. Very, very kind, guys. And no, you know what? When I get that money, I can use that. So you will be getting these next month with that money from you and Old Slow Jim. That should do it, hopefully. And I can finally ship those things out. So you're kind of paying for the shipping. Sorry. So, anyways, thanks for joining me. Oh, jeez. And you just showed up to say thanks and bye. Wow, thanks, buddy. I haven't seen you in ages either. That's MRDSM. I haven't seen him in ages. Thanks for joining. And you guys, Happy New Year. And I will see you 2020. 2020 is supposed to be the good one. Like, I think they kind of pushed it back, but 2020 is supposed to be pretty good for EVs. Let's hope so. And I got the Olympus coming. Anyways, see you guys. Bye-bye.